Ontario Convention Center, home of the greatest horror con of all time, CreepyCon. And now, Sanity has made it to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another video with Swaggle. And here we are in Ontario, California, at the Ontario Convention Center. That's the best shot I can give you guys. The best shot of the show, because I'm kind of in the backstage area right now and I can't actually walk out to, the main entrance because there's a line right now and they're prepping people to walk into the show. But I wanted to do a little bit of a walking, talking vlog. This is what I do now on the channel. All I do is walk and talk and vlog. And really I'm doing it because I'm multitasking. It's the best way to do what I actually need to do, which is take my book to a horror convention and get thumbnails at the same time. That's how you multitask. And also be able to post content on the channel at the same time. How's it going? You look good today. Very, very nice. So it's very cool to be able to kind of walk around with, all these horror fans at this show. And I thought I would do, show you guys around. It's before the show, so there's no real lines here. I can kind of point out all of the cool things. We got comics here at CreepyCon. That's where I'm going to be, in this room over here. We're going to get there in a second. But I wanted to take you guys through the show floor. It's kind of amazing to do shows like this. I had the opportunity to bring my comic to the show. Thank you to Andrew and Julio for inviting me here. They were like, hey, you got your horror comic book. You should go to, this show. It's a big expo full of people that are fans of horror things, horror, movies, horror TV shows, and all the various horror tchotchkes that come with that. And maybe there might be some people that you can introduce your comic book to. So it felt like a kind of a no-brainer. Like I should probably go to the show and, kiss some babies and shake some hands. And it's interesting. It's interesting to have to do this type of stuff because, when you take your comic book to other comic book conventions, obviously you're still meeting a lot of people, you're introducing yourself and you're talking and having all these conversations. But at the same time, for me at least, there are some people and relationships that I already have and know. And there's, kind of an icebreaker in that sense where people can come up and be like, oh, I've seen your YouTube channel. What do you got here? Oh, it's a comic book. Cool, you wrote this. And that's an easy way to have a conversation. But in this setting, it really is like, it's cold calls, to these people. Like I have to start from zero and say like, hey, do you like comic books? Do you like Lovecraft storytelling? And you really have to kind of do that whole hustle. And then I have to get my elevator pitch done really quick. I got to tell them, yeah, I have a YouTube channel. I do vintage comic book collecting. I'm a big fan of pulps and the detective stories of old, and I wanted to write something and pay homage to that. And you kind of have to, talk about yourself and the whole process, and hopefully they're willing to give it a chance, which is difficult in and of itself. But it's just amazing to me, like how many kind of small business owners, entrepreneurs there are at all these types of shows. And it's cool to see it. It's cool to see all the little creative things that people are actually able to build. And it actually gives you a lot of ideas. Because this is a little bit inside baseball, but, as I have now done 2 Kickstarters for my comic book and doing stuff with 24/7 and other Kickstarters, you start to really want to think about like, okay, what are new creative, outside of the box ways that you can promote your Kickstarter? What collaborations can you do? What other tiers and offerings can you make? And going to shows like this is a great way to do it. I mean, look at all these cool things that people make. Lenticulars of magazine covers and horror swipe images. Do you guys think I should make this the thumbnail? If I made this the thumbnail, we would get 1 million views. Instead, it's usually my stupid face. But it's really cool to see stuff like this. Obviously, EC homage stuff is very popular all the time. I love the Weird Tales poster up there. You guys see that? That Weird Tales thing. Can I do this? There it is. That's pretty cool. But always really fun to see the creativity that people have. And are able to put into different types of products. And it, should inspire. It should give me ideas. Back to kind of what I was saying. It's like, next time I do a Sanity Kickstarter, like, are there cool other collectible things, partnerships, collaborations that I can do, that help introduce my IP to other audiences, and similarly help introduce all these various businesses to, maybe my audience right here. Maybe you're somebody watching this video right now who's a comic book fan, and you didn't know that you needed this Leatherface sweater, or this Chucky one, or the Thug Life with a bunch of, Halloween iconic characters. You know what I mean? You didn't know you needed it, but what if I did a collab and now you could get it from that guy? Should we actually give him a shout out in this video? I don't know whose booth this is, but here we go, guys. In case you were wondering, head on over to, what does that say? Basserite Concrete Shop. All right, pause and zoom in. That's as best I can do for the promo. That's the best thing I can do. Go look it up. Go find it. So anyways, it's cool to see all these various people. Like, here's a perfect example. Look at this. Coasters. How cool is that? Like, what if there was a Sanity coaster? You know what I mean? Or like brushes. All these products that people come up with and create. It's just cool to see it. I think it's, I don't know. I have so much respect for the people that do these ventures, especially, coming out with a comic book, or now having done my own comic book, because it's just so much work. Oh, this is cool. See, I might have to find myself over here at some point. Vintage posters. We need to do more content about vintage posters. I've been eyeing a lot of the heritage auctions of like the original type of stuff. And I feel like getting stuff like Invisible Man. I mean, these are a lot of fun, obviously, being a Lovecraft fan here. These are a lot of fun to do, but I obviously like the, Golden Age. Is it called Golden Age posters? This is one that's really awesome. Creature from the Black Lagoon right there. Actually, is there a pit? No, I don't have it. I definitely had an homage to this in my comic book. And I think that poster, the original one, was recently on a heritage sale. I think it went for like $800. I was actually looking at it because I thought it would be kind of cool to put in, kind of my computer room area. So I'm starting to, check out vintage posters a little bit more, but certainly here at this type of show, there's going to be a lot of that, especially on the horror side. Do we know anybody here? Alex Winter, Bill and Ted, some autograph signing lines. I don't know, so these shows are kind of fun. Are you a horror fan? Is anyone out there a horror fan? Like a big time horror fan? Like, you like going to this stuff, this world, this whole scene and culture? Let me know. I'm still learning about it in a way. I do love B horror movies, especially growing up. Like when you're a kid, or when I was in high school, watching that stuff was so fun. It was so fun. It's been a while since I've seen a lot of it. I mean, I kind of feel like when you get a little bit older, maybe you're not as into that type of gore anymore. Is that true for you guys? Like, do you kind of grow out of it? Is it more of like a kid thing, a young thing? I don't know. I'm going to awkwardly walk through this line right now. Guys, they're all lining up for me. They're all no, they're not. We can be heroes. We're in the comic book section. Shout out to Julio. I filmed my Sanity commercial in his comic book store, at least his old store. No longer does he have that one. He actually moved locations. But here we are. Check it out. Oh. Very cool. Very nice. We got the whole set. Thank you to everyone who supported the Kickstarter, made this happen. Got the whole comic book section right here. Shout out to Andrew, Outpost Comics. He's got everything. We got the Gore Shriek over there. That's pretty awesome. Of course, you got your Dave Stevens Seduction of the Innocent. You got some Bronze Age horror right there. Wait. Sorry, it's hard to film and to walk and talk and all that stuff. I'm trying to do this all in one take, because if I do it all in one take, then I can post it instantly and upload it, and then I can actually sit at my table. Multitasking. Very cool Fangoria magazines. A lot of Elvira stuff. Here we have Julio's booth, We Can Be Heroes. Check it out. Make sure you go check out his store. He's got a lot of great horror stuff as well. Some more VHS tapes. VHS horror seems like the perfect thing to have at this section right now. We got legendary creators. Tim Vigil over there. We got David Avalone. Shout out to him. Got amazing Elvira work. Thank you. So, yeah, there we are. That's my little walking-talking vlog. Yeah, it's cool. It's cool to come out to these shows and take out your comic book and see if I can make any sales, you know? I don't know if anybody wants it. We're going to have to work at it. We're going to have to hustle. And then I will also, if you're in the Southern California area, you want to come, I will be here tomorrow. Tomorrow, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and then I'm going to head on over to Cal Comic Con down in Anaheim. And we're going to do some vintage comic book shopping. Probably going to talk to some vintage comic book dealers. We'll do a dealer interview situation. I feel like that's going to be a good one. We need one of those. It's been a while since I've talked to the dealers, and I feel like 2025 talking to dealers is something we got to do. So anyways, that's all I got for this video. Hopefully you guys found that kind of fun. I don't know. I'm here, so we had to make some content today. Anyways, that's all I got. Like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think about this whole horror situation. See y'all in the next video.